What's up, YouTube? 2020 Tantra on Amazon, info in the description. You can get the PDF if you DM me on Instagram. That's also in the description. So, real relationships, I don't know if you guys can see that. Real relationships. Real relationships. Things that actually have direction, not things that make your energy ambient and eat you alive slowly. That's different. That's a real relationship has direction, so it's actually going somewhere. It's actually finding forever. So with that, forever itself is infinity or presence, because the immortal presence is infinity. It is the nothingness. So that is the light or the faith or the blood in physical form. So the light is the Fe, which is iron on the periodic table. So that the faith is the victory. So at that point, then you don't ever have to know anything. You don't have to know what's coming next. When you find forever yourself, the real you, no concept of self, not what you think you are. Because if you define yourself, you can never truly know yourself because you are the definer. So the definition could never encapsulate you. So if you find forever, the nothingness, which is you, the void that is truly you, then you find the faith, the light, which is the physical identity, or however you want to look at it, which is truly you, the faith. The faith is the victory. Once you have faith and you become realized at that point, then that's victorious at that point. Then there's no fear. Then you just observe life from an untethered state, from a state of awe, of just constant awe of the constant bending of the bow, the constant bending of yin and yang, the expressions of life that come, the expressions of infinity. This is just playing with infinity and observing infinity, because you can't really play with it, but observing it because you are it. If you look at it like if you observe subatomic phenomena in like a double-blind study or things like that, with that which is being observed is the observer. So your perception of it changes what you see. So let me digress into this real quick. It's a great video here. Hope you guys have made it this far, 2 minutes and 26 seconds. If you're not chemically lobotomized, you might have made it. Anyway, the light, again, is the iron on the periodic table, is the Fe, the blood, is iron, which is the light, which is the melanin, or whatever you want to call it, however you want to call it. The light is the nothingness. And it's expressing itself in physical form in these ways that I'm giving names, like I said, like the melanin, blood, the iron, the faith. These are names for infinity. This is, the faith has been encapsulated or trapped. The light has been encapsulated and trapped in this prism of light, which is the reflection of nothing. The reflection of nothing is the something. So that's where you can have concept and experience. So this is nothing expressing itself, and its expression is something, because that's its reflection. So the reflection of the nothing, or the light, is going to go, this is the Fe. It's the faith. The light is the faith, the Fe. So that's the nothing. So its reflection, you have the male. The further reflection of the Fe. It's all one reflection of nothing. There's no separation here. But the female, or the Fe male, the iron male. So iron maiden, however you want to look at it. So the nothing male. And then the something male, or however you want to look at it. It's the Shiva and the Kali, the darkness and light, absolute nothing, absolute something, however you want to look at this thing. But it's the male and female, the binary code, the 0 and 1 that creates everything else. Everything. So this is the nothing that produces the something. And then this is how it happens. This is the process of realizing the nothing. It really is it, of becoming and unbecoming. Coming from that state of nothingness, observing the something, which is the reflection of the nothing, and then from that state of something, you can observe the nothing, or the immortality that is you. This is difficult for a lot of people to follow, but I know some people that have any presence in general, they've made it this far. So you live from where you give from. If you look at the body itself, the endocrine system, or you want to look at it in chakras, however, it's up to you. You can call them melanin clusters. I'm not really, whatever your semantics are, whatever, that's up to you. But the body itself, we can separate into 7 energy centers or whatever, where you can cycle the energy through the prana. And so you live from where you give from. So your desires, you have different identities from different levels of desire. So if you're desiring from this root chakra level, you can only desire, you're only gonna desire from a more panicked state. Your view is not from here. Your view is from the valley, and you can't see from this perspective of the bird. So you have a total, you're in a panicked state. You're in a separate, false iso, because true isolation or true oneness would be no separation, but you're isolated here in this state. You feel total separation. So when you look at life from this place, when your energy and your blood, your light, because this is where, if your light is down here, if you're constantly regenerating your sex organs and eating food and stuff like that, your light is always concentrated in digestion and sex organs. So if your light is down here, then you're looking from down here. So you're looking from within a reflection outwards at the source. So the further outwards you're getting from the circle, then you're getting a more distorted version of love. It's all love or oneness, but you're getting different distortions of the love, the one thought, the oneness. You're getting different versions of the truth instead of just truth and being. You're trying. This is all trying, different degrees of trying or lying. You know, different angles of oneness. So this is just like you viewing yourself like bent light. Like if this is the light, then you're looking at it from like down in a bent and it's up. So this is elevated and this is down and out. So you're looking up and at your own self from these states, these states of separation down here. You're looking out of your body from down here if your blood is down here. Your focus and your desires, because your desire determines your identity. Your identity determines your desire. This level, whatever these have, wherever your light is a level of identity, a level of desire. So if you look out from here, you only see reflections from here. You can only see people and meet people from this level of perception. It doesn't matter but if you meet people that are totally lobotomized, if you're living from here, you can still see the divine in them. You can still see the light in them because everybody is a Lucifer, is a light bearer. So when you're here living in this place, you always see the oneness. You're never losing the dot in the center of the circle or the dots of harmony that are always maintaining harmony. You're never losing that if you're living from here. But from here, you just live from it less and less. It's sporadic oneness from these states of living, looking out from here. This is more chase, and then you just attract more compassion, more oneness. This is more separation, more chasing. Attract, chase. So when you look from this place, from this state, then you can see past this binary code or this male and female, this duality. You can see beyond the pendulum of yin and yang, and you can go back just to being the light instead of being a person or whatever. You just the torch that's being carried in a ferry or the body. So you live from where you give from. If you live from here and your light is up here, and then you give from up here because you see no separation. So you're always giving to yourself, and it's constant communism, but in a complementary way. Complementary communism, not like distorted communism or however you want to call it. There's oneness in that sense, you know what I mean? So you're taking care of yourself, I should say, in that sense. Like if communism was executed perfectly. So you're constantly taking care of yourself, no corruption of power, because you don't see, one hand washes the other, there's no separation, if you live from this place right here. So if you live from where you give from, you live from separation, and you give from separation, then you're constantly chasing. It's never enough. It's always, you're looking at the lack, the cup is always half empty, and then the more you move up, the cup is more full, then eventually there is no cup. Eventually there is no cup, there's no separation, there's nothing. You're total nothingness, which is infinity. So no definition. So we can look at it like, again, you're coming out of your mother. So that's where, the mother's behind you. You're coming from, the mother's behind you. You're coming from that. That's where the force is coming from in the physical realm. And you're going back into the least dense. You're coming from you came into the density, then you fully form. You came from the ether, impregnated the father, then you impregnate the mother. She impregnates the world. You come into full form, then you unbecome. So there's the process of becoming and unbecoming. So in that process, you're going from the mother, and you're going to return to the mother. And then so the moons return you to the nothing. The maternal energy returns you to the nothing, and the suns bring you to the moon. So the masculine energy that's going to push you forward in your life, your passions, that you can only push so far, and then you got to return to the mother so you can recharge, and then push some more, and then recharge, and then this is how you gradually get to where you're going. And it's a marathon, like Nipsey would say. So that's how, the moons are return. I say return is the way of the Tao, or returning to the mother and all that. Like that's what that is. That's the sentiment in that, because you're coming literally through you're coming, or you're going through the Father. He's not coming, he's going. And then that's going through the masculine, the principle. So you're going through the nothing, then coming through the Father, and then into the feminine, like I've been saying. So this is your son. And then you leave, when you die, or supposedly your death, you're leaving through the moons. So your moons would be Jupiter, Venus. Our moon is called Artemis, and Mercury is androgynous, so it's a half moon. So as far as the astrology is concerned, when people die, the placement of the moon is everything as far as to where their direction was. So when you leave on the moons return you to nothing. And the suns bring you in. That's your birthday. That's why people say they're Cancer, whatever the sun sign is, their supposed sign or whatever. And it's a sun sign. That's why the sun is the father and all that type of stuff. So, yeah, it's the path of least resistance. Your mother is pushing you through your life, and she's pushing you out of the womb, and then all the collection of female energies that created you, because the material world is the mother world. Since we're going from mother to mother, the masculine principle is impregnating the feminine principle. So he's returning to the mother always. And this is happening whether you're male or female. It doesn't really matter. It's always a return to the mother, or through the feminine, through the moons, or however your soul is doing this. So your path of least resistance, since the mother, the feminine, is water, the water flows to the lowest point, path of least resistance. So the path of abundance, where spirit flows, because spirit is the breath, is the female, is the feminine, is the woman, is the water, is the flow, is the abundance, because abundance means to flow or to dance. So that whole thing, that whole path of least resistance, as you come out of your mother's water, and that pressure, she's pushing you out, you follow that path of least resistance by the mothers that created you, all the feminine momentum or momentum that you're coming from. That momentum or momentum pushes you to the next moon or to the next mom, and then astrologically, your soul is doing that, and it's happening in a physical realm too, because as angels fall, demons rise, they meet in the physical realm. The moons and suns circle and cycle or whatever, and take souls in and out. But it's happening in the stars and on Earth, however you want to look at it. They're the same. There's no separation. So you got to look at it like warmer versus colder. Further out is colder. That's more getting into your hell, more rigidity, more rational Capricorn energy. Colder, bottom of hell. So nothing wrong with it. Just is what it is. So then you're more blind, because faith is blind. I mean, it's true. My faith isn't blind, but it's also blind. Like Cancer is the blind sign, darkest sign, dimmest sign, and dimmest stars in the sky. So returning to the darkness, the germination, that's the start, that's the beginning, that's the source, that's closer to the source. So that's the mother, the Cancer, and the Capricorn is the father. So returning to the source is through the Cancer. That's the Tropic of Cancer in that sense, or whatever, through that essence. So you're getting, and I know that people are going to say that the feminine is always associated with the cold from the water and everything. But I'm just saying that the cold, as far as the Capricorn energy, as far as the ice is cold, heaven is warm type deal. You're getting warmer, you're getting closer to nurturing, to that. You're getting closer to great sex. If you're getting colder, callous, you're getting closer to rape sex, and then just more trying. More trying is dying. Because it's all about unifying yin and yang, and then greater unifications of yin and yang bring about greater states of evolution. So unify within, then you unify without, around you. So you unify the family within you, then outwardly that happens. And then the whole world is set straight because you set you straight. It's not anything that, you're never powerless in that sense. So the attraction thing is just living from this place so you can see you, and externally and internally. So you can see the male and feminine internally and externally. So you can see the external you, the you, me, and the internal you. That's all visible if you live from here. If you live from here, then you're really only looking at me. You're looking down, you're constantly looking at me, you're constantly here, you're in fear state. If you're looking from here, then you're constantly up, then you have a totally different perch, and then you're living. This is it right here. It's all about attraction. So since the body's an antenna, the posture is everything. Where you look from, where you see from is everything. So it's all here. And as far as attraction and attracting the other mate, this is never, especially now, it doesn't take but a second to attract and click and connect. So it's one love, and again, the further out is bent light. So you use your own light to return to the source of light. And other lights that you meet along the way, they might, again, the warmer, colder game, they might be warmer and warmer, bring you to those other places. Like some thoughts bring you to consciousness, some thoughts bring you to unconsciousness. So some things or some people bring you to that warmth, and they're the conduits that bring you to the truth. The closer you get to you, it's a warmth, you want to go with it. So there's no failed relationship. You should always help each other get closer to that warmth. It's no separation. So the closer you get to you, the closer everybody else gets to them. So you set all of life at peace. It's restoration at that point. Then it's silent understanding, and it's no talk. You don't have to talk. You don't have to. You don't have to talk to yourself. You don't have to even guide you anymore. You're totally living from silence within, and there's silence around you. And then it's a clear mirror. So that clear mirror never needs to be cleaned. That's way. That's doing, not doing. So all moves that are trying require death or sacrifice, because they're incomplete moves, because you're pulling from a finite cup. But when you pull from oneness or infinity, then all your movements are infinite, and they're in rhythm with harmony, with the foreverness. So they require, the cleanup is in the movement. The inhale and exhale, they clean each other up. There's no deviation from that. Everything else is an illusion. Profit is an illusion. Losing is an illusion. So that's really it. The nothing takes form in the light, and then realizes itself. So it has to see itself to realize what it isn't. So you keep doing what you shouldn't do until you realize, and the pain language keeps you in that deep, dense, low vibration until you learn the language. And then you get to the etymology, you get to the root of the language, and then you grow past that, because auditory thought is the beast, left brain, that's separation, that's rational thinking. So yeah, that's really about it. 2020 Tantra on Amazon, info in the description. You can also DM me on Instagram.